Raglan Church in Wells Primary School is in the heart of Monmouthshire. We have been on an exciting journey here in the last, I would say, 3.5 years, in that we have tried a few different ways of developing our curriculum. We realised quite quickly that we need to take a step back. We needed to have that discussion with our practitioners in the school to talk about what does learning look like, how do we ensure that our learners are learning the right things, and how do we take that learner forward. And learning is hard. We identified that we needed to really streamline our curriculum. We needed to ensure that we were asking practitioners, what are you teaching and why are you teaching it? Practitioners were all of a sudden stopping and actually thinking about, why am I doing it? I'm not doing it because it's a concept I have to teach, but we're doing it to really develop those interconnections and those parallels within learning across all AOLEs to really bring a holistic picture, not just for the child to develop their knowledge and understanding, but also to develop the child as a learner.
When we first started with our curriculum design with Curriculum for Wales in mind, it was a bit of a disaster, to be honest. We were trying to view Curriculum for Wales from a Curriculum 2008 mindset, deliberately trying to put the new curriculum into structures that we'd previously used. We realised that we needed to ditch that tyranny of text boxes, move away from that, and instead we brought in planning journals, which gave greater freedom and creativity to the staff because there wasn't a set way that they needed to look, but we'd agreed a set process. So we needed something that was going to be concise. And that's where I came across Alison Zamuda's work with streamlining the curriculum and her storyboard approach. It may only be one piece of paper that you're looking at, but actually the deep thinking that goes back behind that is professionally quite challenging, but we're finding massively rewarding. A key bit is you're meant to see a journey from one side of the storyboard to the other. So one learning experience is meant to link to the next. So it's really resulting in more worthwhile learning experiences, richer learning experiences, because that has helped all of us to see really clearly that we are one part of a much bigger journey for those little people that come through our classrooms.
We're also learning about famous Welsh women, and I went for Hayley Gomez, who's an astrophysicist. She studies how cosmic dust is created, and I think that it's just really cool that she can look at things that are 5,000 miles away.
Well, I think one of the best things about Curriculum for Wales is that you're no longer doing what you have to do per year group. It's very much stage, not age. So every cohort's different and they change a lot as they go through the academic year. The flexibility and the creativity in there just helps you really be able to produce teaching and learning experiences that are where the child needs them.
We felt like we needed to get together as a whole school in order for the new curriculum to be successful. We felt like everybody needed to have a really good knowledge of what each AOLE's what matter statements were. We get our learning journals passed up to us, so we've seen what they've previously learned, and then it enables us to either build on what they've previously learned or take bits from what they've previously learned to hook into new learning. It's allowed us to be more free with what motivates us as teachers, I think. So our planning journals are essentially our medium-term plans. And then on the front, they have your cover, what it is your theme's going to be that term. We talk about why we're doing that theme, what our whole school development plan is, and then it gets broken down into the storyboards. So each AOLE storyboard gets put in there, very thematic, very creative. And our medium-term planning now makes our ideas more succinct and more in-depth rather than just broad learning. And then our what matters statements go in there as well, so that we can link the what matters into our planning. It's all there for us, and then they go up then to the next cohort.
In terms of the future development of our curriculum, storyboarding has really flagged up that as a staff, we still need to keep coming back to all the time purpose, keep challenging each other. When we have our first ideas, it's quite common now for someone to say, I think I'm doing this, and me or someone else to go, why? And then you'll think, okay, so how is this experience going to support this need within my class? For example, in the past, I've had a cohort that their relationships weren't brilliant between each other. They were quite dysfunctional, lots of fallings out. If I was just focusing on the academic side of planning, that wouldn't have factored at all. But actually, it was a barrier to what I was trying to do with the learning, because often these social issues were getting in the way. So the focus through my storyboards and through my broader planning, the why for me at that point was, okay, I'll cover all the academic aspects I've got to, but the broader theme is going to be around compassion, diversity and acceptance, because that's what they need to have for each other. And if we can get that cracked, then it'll mean that they're more open to the learning experiences and they'll start to see it in the broader world.
I like the group projects because Mr. Bowen always chooses the group, so then he's like broadening our mindset for new possibilities of friends, instead of just going with our friend each time and just sticking to some friends.
Storyboards enable us to communicate to parents, to governors, to children, to the people we work with to support the learning, a clear and compelling way on how we teach, why we teach, and how we are going to take the learner forward. And through everyone understanding that approach, it enables everyone to be part of the learning journey, which makes it really exciting.